Welcome to Adapt One. This week, we are excited to feature Scott Denton, a visionary entrepreneur and accomplished digital artist. With expertise as a character modeler and generalist, Scott has earned credits across film, television, and advertising. Beyond his professional achievements, he is passionate about sharing his knowledge and teaching the art. We are thrilled to collaborate with Scott as part of our upcoming mentorship program.
I just finished up doing some stuff for Buck Creative for the last, 5 months, kind of working with them on a few, I can't say what specific Airbnb spots they are, but we've been working on some Airbnb spots. And then before that, I was at Frame Store for a little bit, working on a few things. I'm just kind of freelancing and bouncing around the New York market. I did some just character work. I made a bird for a Samsung spot, and I think I was there for a month and a half just doing that. And then just a little bit of texture work on that stuff. And then, that's what I did for them. So, and then at the beginning of the year, I worked for Blur for a little bit on some, I don't know if I can say what I was working on or not, but I don't want to say and then get in trouble.
No worries, I understand.
It was a very cool project. I'm excited about it, but I can't say anything else.
Do you know when it's coming out?
Probably beginning of next year.
Okay.
It's definitely not the secret level thing, but that would have been fun. But yeah, it was a fun project, and I think I was there for about 2 months. So.
Looking back at your career, what are the projects that you're the most proud of?
I think it's funny. There was the Chantix turkey thing was really big, and it's just been funny in a way because it's been. I get emails to this day. I have it up on my YouTube of people asking me funny questions about it and things, and my mom still introduces me to people in person as the Chantix turkey guy. And that was just a fun project while I was at the mill. There was a lot of projects at the mill that I really loved, but I think out of, not saying projects, but I think just time-wise, I think my time at the mill was some of the best years of my career, and the team that I had there was just an amazing experience. Moreover, project-wise, I think that experience in itself was just one of the best things in my career. So
That was the mill in New York, I guess.
Yeah. There was 7 of us, and we just really it was just a really good support team of just kind of sharing knowledge and helping bring each other up, and making sure that we were delivering on the things that we were doing. Outside of that, another thing I was super proud of, I guess, would have been just because it was a super fun project, was going out to Seattle and being on the HoloLens launch. That was just fun, and really none of that work will ever see the light of the day because it was all spec work, and it was just internal. I was on a team with 4 other dudes, and we were basically just told to kind of break the device every day, not break it, but what can it do? Can it handle normal maps? Can it do this? How long can the battery last? And that was all just focused around just being as creative as we could. And then it was kind of us trying to impress each other, internally. And then we knew none of it would ever be seen, but it was just 8 months of just experimentation and I don't ever get to show anybody any of the stuff we made.
What is the biggest reward of working full-time, I guess, for you versus being freelancer? What are the pros and cons of both?
For me, freelance I love because of I love to travel, and I love who doesn't like having some time off? But when you have time off and then you can get jobs quickly, it's even better. But when it's good, like you know, you can kind of choose time to spend for yourself, and like um that's what I really enjoyed about it. I was like, when I first started freelance, I would, you know, I would work maybe 8 or 9 months out of the year, and the rest of the other months of the year, I would just take off purposely just for myself, just to either travel and see my family, or travel and see friends, or travel just to travel, or just work on personal projects, like, or just get better at something. Like I mean, like take a class or whatever. And then but like the minuses of that I found was like, not like, I feel like learning as a freelancer is slightly like a echo chamber. Like when you don't have people consistently to be able to bounce ideas off of, or like problems or other things, the process sometimes becomes longer, because like you're having to do all of that research and work yourself. So like that's what I preferred about being full-time. After, like, man, I thought I never would be full-time. I was freelance for 14 years after my first job, and then Mill came along and asked me if I wanted to come in. And at that time I felt like I had kind of learned a lot of the software and stuff, and was at a place to where like I really wanted to be with a team and kind of grow with a team, and feel like I was growing faster, and like helping other people grow faster, and like, and having a steady paycheck, and like, you know, full on insurance, and like those things can be great as well. I mean, for like, also I have ADHD. I you know, I'm slightly on the spectrum, like and having, for someone that's not the greatest with their finances, having a check every week is a good thing. And then, you know, knowing and being able to plan more for the future, I guess is better on the staff side as well. But like, they're both great. And like, you know, I get vacation time for full-time stuff as well too. But like, it's yeah, those are I guess the plus and minuses I find out of the two. And then being able to, I guess also, like, when you're staff, you tend to get a little bit more meat to chew, if that makes sense. Like I feel like as a freelancer, sometimes you're relegated to the tasks that no one wants to do. And when you're full time, you have a chance to kind of pick and choose and be a little bit more integral to the process of like actually contributing and whatnot. If that makes sense.
Totally. Who were the people that, I guess, influenced you? I mean, the people you work with the most, that influenced you the most, that helped you the most back in the past? Are there people that really, like, you know, pushed you, or you thought really were instrumental to your success now?
I mean, Chris Fung at my first job was a big inspiration to me. Like, he just kind of was a little bit of everything. There's this guy, Javier Leon, that has Leon Studios. I worked with him at Hornet around 2009 or 10, and his outlook on like doing personal work and having personal work kind of drive what you get as a career is like was really inspiring to me. And I've always, he'll totally deny that I think of him as a mentor, but like, because I mean, he's a close friend too, but like he was like kind of one of the first people that like I really looked up to what he was doing, and what he was doing, not both personally in his personal work, but like how he would then take that and apply it to his real work, and then like how that kind of informed how he got his jobs and everything else. I mean, God, there's so many people. I worked at Leica in Portland for their commercial division for a little bit, and like there's a guy named Michael Berger that brought me on out there, who like is a close friend, and just I think him just bringing me out there was one of the reasons that like I went out there for 2 or 3 summers in a row, and every year I was kind of like already a little bit of a, like had already been in the industry for a while, but like every year I went out there, it was me and like 10 or 15 interns. So I was like always like the old like maid and like and kind of grumpy like VFX dude. And then being around their energy and stuff like every year would just be like make me want to come back and be like, I love it. Like they all love this. Like it was like just great being around the energy of people that were excited about doing this. And like I think that since then has always been a thing to where like I always kind of like seek out the juniors and that energy of like it's so exciting to see them be excited and like have that kind of inform me to like keep up that excitement and like continue to learn and like.
If someone asked you to mentor them, what would be the things you would look at them, you know, because I guess you're looking for someone that's enthusiastic about what they want to do. They want, you know, they have potential. What would you look at to accept someone as a mentoree, a mentee?
I guess most of it for me would be passion. Like, I mean, artistic skill for sure, but like for me, it's not like that hunger of like wanting to push and wanting to continue to get better and that just finding people that have that hunger like and like that really, whether it be like over the art skills or everything, it's just like every aspect of it, like I guess would be like what I would look for in somebody that I would want to like, someone that doesn't make it hard for me to just kind of be there for them and like going to that, like I don't know, like having someone excited to make me excited to like jump in and like show them what I can. I think a lot of what I have to offer mostly is just like, I mean, artistic skills and like the technical stuff and all that stuff too. But like, I feel like my dad already was a human resources vice president, and I feel like he really drilled into me like your network is everything, and I try to tell that all the time to people. And I think like being able to give that kind of advice of like, you know, how to find jobs, how to like nurture relationships and like continue those relationships and like being able to come back and like, you know, bitch about process or like talk about process and like I don't know if that answers that, but that's my answer.
Yes, absolutely. Earlier you were talking about, you know, the your groups, I guess you're building in New York. Tell us about that. It's interesting.
Yeah, like I guess around the time, like I'd been freelance from around 2007 to around 2016, 17, and then I started freelancing with Mill in New York, and Mill was always one of the places that I always wanted to work for. When I got hired, like I worked there for freelance for about a year, and then I got hired or got offered a job. And then I got hired, and my freelance, database would hit me up for work, and like I just couldn't like fulfill those jobs because I was full time, and I kind of got overwhelmed by hitting people up every day to see if they were available of the people that I used to be freelance with. So I just basically one morning started a G-chat and invited all of those people to that G-chat, and would then just dump like, hey, I got hit up by Frame Store. Here's the job. This is what they're looking for. Who wants the job? And then would connect them to the producer, or I would just give them usually I would ask the producer if it was okay if I could give them the email or whatever, or I would just directly send them their stuff. But it'd be in a room where we still to this day we have it, and kind of like pass jobs off. We talk about, you know, what's going on in the industry, talk about rates, talk about like how like the whole system works, and like talk about Yeah, it's just a place to basically just talk about everything that has to do with what goes on in our industry and how to get hired and what to charge and like if there's a job available, then we pass the job off to each other. So
Not everybody's working remote, it seems. How do you see, there's much more and more competition from all over the world that have like much lower rates. You see the emergence of AI. How do you see that affecting I guess, the situation in the industry as far as freelancing goes?
yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell still right now because I feel like we're still semi dealing with what happened with the strike and stuff last year, and there's definitely remote working in India and those other places, but I feel like some of what has happened is some of these studios that are US based and otherwise are like kind of looking more for leads, and then those leads are kind of helping guide the work of the work in India and otherwise. So like they're being kind of a median, which sometimes isn't the most fun of like I'm not doing the work, but I'm like educating the person doing the work on how to do the work. But like I feel like there's been a rise in that. And otherwise, like, I don't know. I don't feel like it's weird for me because I feel like I've been busy, but I don't feel like it's extremely affected me yet. But I do know others that have been out of work a lot, and I can't tell what the reason is because sometimes it's people that I think that are quite better than I am, but like it just seems to be like there's definitely a fluctuation, but I think it's mostly a fluctuation that Netflix and not just Netflix, but Netflix and all the other streaming services like HBO and all those things. I think during pandemic, there was this huge tidal wave of content because that's all people were doing was absorbing it. And now I think we're on the other outside of that, and I think that there's still a hunger for tons of content, but I think it's finding more quality and they're like basically there's been a content wars of HBO and Max and like Netflix and Paramount and all those things kind of morphing and becoming different companies, and like so I think once that all settles and stuff again, I think there's going to be a tidal wave of content. And like I also think like things like TikTok have kind of changed the way that people absorb content too. I think our generation or close to our generation or however it is, like I think we like the long form and like television, stuff like that, but like I think kids coming up now want shorter bursts of like whatever they can, just because of the way that media is being like absorbed. That was kind of a long answer to that, but like I don't see the full impact of it. I feel like everybody everywhere is still kind of getting to work. It's just like finding how that like it needs to rest a little bit, I guess. What
do you think is the secret to your longevity? Because earlier you talked to a lot of friends, you said maybe even more skilled than you are having a hard time finding work. What do you think is your secret?
I mean, every day I wake up, I really pound the pavement and like talk to people that I've worked with in the past, and I think for me it's hard to say, but like for me I kind of nail it down to like I am like always hitting up people that I've worked with before and having those conversations, not just to get work, but just like
catch up,
like always catching up with people. And I don't know, like it's weird, like I don't know if I do that on purpose or if it's just something like for me, I just feel like it's always been part of my like character. So like I like when somebody comes across my brain, like regardless of what it is, a lot of times I just say hi and say, hey, you just came up in my brain. I know we haven't talked in a while. That's all I got. Like I don't really have, but like I do that all the time. And it's not I think that's just part of who I am. And like, I think that always being consistent in the back of people's minds, and like, I actually care about all the people I work about more than I do the actual work. And maybe that comes through, and that's why I get hired, and maybe it's not part of it. I don't know, but like, I'd like to think that that's part of it. Because like, I don't think I kind of do feel like applying cold to applications just goes absolutely nowhere. I think fostering relationships with people that you want to work with, and like showing them that you're hungry, and like, not pestering strangers on a daily basis, but like actually like building relationships and like showing people that you're hungry for what you do. I think that might be where I tend to stay booked more often. I don't know, but yeah, I think that's my answer.
It sounds very reasonable to me. I mean, it must make a difference. And that's the other thing also with our platform. We hope people are going to find more consistency with reliable people. That's why we focus on quality and experienced people as much as possible.
Yeah.
What do you think of the concept of that?
It sounds really cool. I'm excited to see where you guys go with it, and like, I'm excited to be on board to see how it can help people get work and stay connected to other people. I mean, for me, anything that brings people together, and especially over, like, if you're good at your job and you're good at what you do, and you like, people can rep you and know that you'll come through, then I think having an environment that fosters those types of relationships and brings people up. It's like the whole like ladder scheme, right? Like, I learned something, I can teach you and bring you up, and then we both, keep elevating, right? I think it sounds pretty great what you guys are trying to do. So,
well, thank you.
Yeah.
Any last comment?
I wanted to have something awesome to say, but I don't.
I really think you have a great spirit about the whole thing, and about helping people and relationship. I think it's something that sometimes we lack. We talk about which brush you're using and your Photoshop or whatever, but it's very technical. But your stuff is really about emotion, about, I guess, the human aspect of the industry more than technical.
Yeah, I mean, the technical stuff is fun, but like, if you're not having fun doing it with others, then like, that's. I mean, I love learning new programs every day. I think if I had to say one thing is, like, if you're going to be in this industry and you don't want to learn, then you're in the wrong industry. Like every single day, I probably learn a new software or some kind of thing. I think being hungry for new things, I think, is probably the most important thing in this career. And I think whether it be modeling, whether it be animation, whether it be whatever, I think having that hunger to like be a nerd and like find new ways of doing things is, I think, the best place to be.